Hey guys, it's Miss Mackenzie here. We're gonna do tie-dye today. So I'm gonna walk you through the important steps. I'm gonna show you guys 3 different designs that you can do. If you want to look up other designs online though, there's lots of other options you can do. So in your stars bag, you're gonna find your dyes, rubber bands, your t-shirt, and a glove or 2 gloves. So you wanna make sure you have all that ready, and the only other thing you're gonna need is water. And I would definitely recommend doing this outside. So first step is that your shirt has to be wet. So you want to soak your shirt. I just put mine in a bowl of water, but it does have to be wet. Then you can squeeze out the extra water. And then lay it down somewhere flat to start. When you actually dye the shirt, you should probably put it in the grass, but just to get started, it should be somewhere flat. So the first design we're going to look at is a spiral tie-dye. So that's like the classic looking tie-dye shirt. And what you're going to do is pick a spot right in the middle of the shirt and pinch it, and then start twisting from that point. So you're going to twist it like this until it forms a circle. You'll probably have to help the outer edges and push them in. So it should be in a circle shape, and you should see the spiral. Then you're going to take your rubber bands and go across the shirt. I would probably do at least 4. 3 or 4 would be fine. So you have different sections, because everywhere that there's a rubber band, that's going to be a different section of color on your shirt. All right, yeah. So that's 3 different rubber bands, and it's going to make 6 different sections of color, and that's the spiral design. For the next shirt, I want to show you guys how to do a heart. So this one's a little smaller. You'll see I'm making them for the kids too. But for the heart, what you're going to do is start by spreading your shirt out flat and then folding it in half, right down the middle. Okay? So once you fold it in half, make sure everything's lined up. And you can take a washable marker, and you're going to draw half of a heart. So right here on the line, just the best that you can make half of a heart shape. All right, so then to finish that design, what you're going to do is start doing an accordion style fold, and you're going to follow the line that you drew all the way through the shirt. So just right on that line. This one's a little tricky, but try your best. I'll show you guys how it turns out. You're going to do accordion, so in and out. And you'll kind of move the rest of the shirt with you as you go. So the tricky part is when you get to the curve of the heart, but the really important thing is to make sure that at the end, your purple's all lined up together. So mine is not quite right, but I'm gonna go back and adjust it to make sure it's all lined up together. What you'll do then is take a rubber band, and right on the purple line, you'll band off that part of the shirt so that it's separate. And then when you dye this part, it'll make that part the heart and the rest of it something else. So you'll take a few more rubber bands and do some other sections on the t-shirt. And same thing, I'll probably just do 3 for this one. All right, so for the third shirt, I'm just going to do stripes. This one's really tiny, but it's the same idea for you guys' shirts. What you'll do is just start on one side. Decide if you want the stripes to go vertically or horizontal, and then fold the shirt accordingly. So I'm going to do vertical. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to do horizontal stripes, so I'm going to fold my shirt this way. Just back and forth. like so. And then just put probably 1, 2, 3 rubber bands on this one. You guys get the idea. I'm going to show you how to dye the first shirt. So you guys should have a glove in your in your stars bag. You should have 2. So definitely put those on before you start touching the dye because you will get it all over your hands. I'd recommend doing this part in the grass when you're actually ready for it. So these bottles that you have are the dye. You have to add water. You can fill them all the way up with water, but I would recommend filling them halfway first, then shaking it to make sure all the dye dissolves, and then add the rest of the water. So all right, like I said, you can fill it halfway and then add more. This one had green powder drip on it, so be careful with your bottles that powder doesn't drip from one to the other. That's why my hand's turning green, even though this is pink dye. All right, so I'm going to take my first shirt for each section, or you could do a pattern because I think you guys all have 3 different dyes. So you can go around and do a pattern. What you want to do is just make sure you only get it in that one section, cover it really well. I'm going to do mine in a pattern, so I'll do pink, red, orange. This one will be the other pink. Once you cover the first side like this, you're going to need to flip your shirt over and do the other side. Then what you need to do is leave it banded in the rubber bands and somewhere to dry. I'd recommend putting it in like a shopping bag, like a grocery bag, and tying it up. It has to sit for 6 to 8 hours. Then you can take it out and see how your design turned out. So like I said, cover the whole front, and then make sure when you flip it over, you also get the sides. Don't forget those or else they will be white. Flip it over, do the back, and then put it in a bag to dry. Send us a picture of your shirt when you're done. I will post what these turned out like in some pictures for you guys also.